If you're like me and like seeing your images come up on a larger screen when you're taking photos, but don't like all the cords laying around, then this is the thing for you. What is going on, everyone? If you're new around here, my name is Finn Badgley. I'm a commercial fashion portrait photographer and all-around content creator. And today we are talking about something that has been an absolute game changer for me, and that is this guy, the Camranger 2. Now this is just a case for it, but we can open it up and see that inside we got a couple extra batteries, some cables, and the device itself. Now, what this is, it's a wireless transmitting device, kind of similar to something like a Tether or the box system, but that's more so for video. What this guy does is wirelessly creates a Wi-Fi network, so a little different than your Tether and stuff, where those are radio waves and that kind of thing. This is, it has its own Wi-Fi network. The password is just on the back here, and what you do is take whatever device you have, whether it's a laptop, an iPad, even your cell phone, connect to that network, download the Camranger 2 app, and then when you plug your camera into this guy, you can shoot your photos and they will show up almost instantly on whichever device you're on, and you can connect with multiple devices. Now, if you've seen any of my previous behind the scenes videos where I'm doing different photo shoots and that kind of thing, especially the more recent ones in studio, those were all shot using this. While we were taking the photos, I was tethering using this guy, and then they showed up on my iPad here. This is my favorite way to tether. It keeps all the cords away from you. It just makes life that much easier. Now, full disclosure, I'm not sponsored by Camranger. I did pay for this with my own money. I was looking for a wireless solution to tethering, because a lot of times I am on location and sometimes it just doesn't make sense for me to have very long cables running everywhere. People can trip on them. It can be a hazard, and that's not what I want. Also, I like running around a little bit more, being more mobile, and being tied into a computer with a long cord isn't conducive to that. So that's why I looked for this, and that's when I came upon this guy here. So this is my honest thoughts, and make sure you stay till the end to know what I do and don't like about this guy, some quirks and that kind of thing. But it's a super easy and simple setup with this. Now, usually I am using the camera that I'm using to film this right now, the Canon EOS R, but for the purposes of this, I'll just quickly show you with my backup camera, the good old-fashioned 6D. We have our iPad here. We're going to want to turn this sucker on. There's a little on button there. Now, the other thing is, if your camera only has one card slot and you want that additional backup, especially if it is a more important job or anything, you can actually plug an SD card into this guy and back up the files on it itself, so that way you have an additional copy of your photos. You can also do this even if you have 2 card slots, and then you can have 3 cards, because redundancy is important. Now, with this guy turned on and powered up, we will go ahead and connect to that network there. The 5G is the closer range, faster one. The 2.4 sometimes I'll switch to if it's a little farther range, if the 5 isn't quite working for me. But with that connected, let's go ahead, take our camera, and what you want to do is plug in whatever cable you have. My Canon EOS R is a USB-C cable. This guy is the very old little polygonal mini USB, not even the micro USB, the mini USB. So we do that. Camera is turned on. Plug her in just in the back here. Then we'll go ahead and actually open our Camranger app. There's a little welcome thing, yada, yada, yada. Connect. And this is just going to connect to that Wi-Fi network and whatever camera is shown up there. So I can connect with that, and then I can quickly take a photo, and we'll see almost instantly that guy pops up. We can even fire off a couple, and it might have a little bit of a lag, but you see they all come in super fast. This is a super easy and clean setup and keeps me, as you can see, pretty mobile. What I like doing is just clipping this guy on my belt, cables running across, have the camera on a strap or something, and then you're pretty much good to go. You're completely hands-free, and your images still get sent wirelessly to this guy, and your client, whoever you're shooting with, can see them immediately. Plus, if you're working with models, they always like to see the images coming through. That way they know if they're doing a good job, what things they can adjust based on that, and how to adjust themselves to get a better photo. Now, this is good timing, because one of the things that sometimes will happen is the cable will pop out like so, and then you'll get an error message. Now, we don't always want that, and that is why, especially with my Canon EOS R, I have a little jerk stopper type mechanism there to actually stop that cable from being pulled out, so that way it's nice and secure and you don't have a bunch of error messages like this. Also, sometimes I find if I'm shooting pretty quickly, I will get the occasional error message just saying that the camera controls or something aren't working. You just hit OK and you keep moving. It's no big deal. You're able to keep moving pretty quickly, and it doesn't give you too many hiccups there. And you can go ahead, and if you plug the camera back in, you should be able to load your previous session. All the images will be up there, and you can zoom in nicely on them like that. The other thing that's important, especially if you're doing real estate or anything like that, is you can have your camera set up on a tripod, and there's a little capture button here that you can use to take photos completely hands-free. Absolutely a game changer there. You can also adjust all your different settings and change it up accordingly. So you can see there, I just changed the ISO from 2000 to 3200, and you can see that next image is quite a bit brighter there. So this is something that can completely free you up. It's something that has been an absolute game changer for me, and actually has me tethering a lot more than I previously would have. Before, it was a bit of a thing, and I had to, you know, it's a larger setup, but this, you can easily take this guy and you can just hand it to the client. If there's not a level ground or anything for you to put a stand on or anything like that, you can just hand this to the client and they can watch it as you're photographing, and it's a great thing to have. It's a great little add-on there that's just going to make you look better at the end of the day, and it's super clean and easy to use. The workflow of this is just amazing. I did compare a couple before going with this, especially because it is not exactly a cheap device, but it is so worth it. It's one of these things that makes you look more professional and sets you apart, especially when you can have multiple people on set. If you have hair, makeup, wardrobe, they're not all gonna be crowded around this, a laptop, or all just on one screen. They can pull it up on their phones and see the images coming in, zoom in, and check what they need to, and keep going. It's such a game changer, and I'm so glad that I went with this. Although it has its quirks, it is so reliable. You can use it pretty far away. Indoors, outdoors, does not matter. I absolutely love it, and it has really upped my workflow. So that is that. Not sponsored, just a completely raw, honest review after using the Camranger 2 for quite a few months now. I absolutely love this device, and I'm excited to work with it more. So I hope you enjoyed this video and got some value out of it, especially if you've been looking for a wireless tethering solution. This is what I would recommend. I'm not sponsored. This is just what I like and my experience with it. Like this video if you like this kind of thing and want to see more different workflow tips and that kind of thing, especially gear related, from me in the future. Leave a comment if you like this kind of thing, if you have tethered to an iPad, if you're looking to, or if you prefer tethering to a computer, and why. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell to be notified when I post new videos so you never miss an upload. Work hard, rest often, and as always, I will see you on the next one.